This episode of Soldier Knows Best is brought to you by lynda.com. Hey, what's up guys? Soldier Knows Best here, where Apple recently held their WWDC Keynote, which WWDC is the Worldwide Developers Conference that they hold every single year, where people from all over the world come and attend sessions and classes and things like that, and they learned about the future of OS X and also iOS and other Apple products as well. So anyway, this is going to be my recap video from the initial keynote. And in the beginning, they talk about a whole bunch of stats and how well iOS is selling and how good the Apple stores are doing. But one keynote that they didn't mention was that they have paid over $10 billion to App Store developers. That's a lot of money. So definitely developers are loving iOS and the market that it brings. Really, the first major thing that they talked about was the new version of OS X, and it's going to be called OS X Sea Lion. Yes, Sea Lion. No, I'm playing. Anyway, they kind of joked about that because they're kind of running out of cat names. So they decided to take a totally different approach to the names. They're going to be calling it OS X Mavericks, and that's due to, like, I think the state of California, something. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention, but the new name of the OS is going to be called OS X Mavericks. Some of the new features in OS X Mavericks is going to be that Finder is finally going to be getting tab support. So now you'll be able to open up multiple tabs instead of having to have 2, 3, or 4 Finder windows open at the same time. And also now you'll be able to tag particular files in like a picture or a document, and you can add a tag to it. And on the left hand side of the sidebar, you'll see different categories or different folders for those tags, and you'll be able to find information that you're looking for a lot faster. Now, another cool thing in OS X Mavericks is called app naps. And so the software, really the OS, will be able to notice that you're not using a certain piece of software, and they'll kind of put it to sleep. They'll give it a little nap. And so it's going to be helping reduce the amount of system resources that particular app or multiple apps is going to be using. And also too, for laptops, it's going to be great for conserving battery life. And also multiple display support is getting a lot better in OS X Mavericks, and this has been a long time coming. But anyway, there's no really secondary or primary display anymore. Each one is going to have its own menu bar, and the dock will be available in whichever screen you're going to be working in. You can also run full screen apps in each one of your individual displays, and they're not going to really mess with each other and go crazy like it's currently set up. And lastly, with the combination of the Apple TV and AirPlay, you'll now be able to use your HD TV as a wireless monitor. So you can be surfing on your couch with your laptop and just drag an application over to the HD TV that may be on the other side of the room. Now, another new thing, which is actually something they're bringing back from the early days of the Mac, is called iCloud Keychain. And so this basically is going to allow you to keep all of your passwords in one secure place, and across all different platforms from iOS to the Mac, you'll be able to quickly enter in passwords or other information like credit cards and address and things like that. So you just need to know one master password, and then when you go to a website like Amazon, you'll be able to put in that information for your username and your password with just one click and things like that. So it's very similar to an application called 1Password that I've been using for a long time now, but it's going to be something that's going to be very useful and really save some time. Now, iBooks will also be included in OS X Mavericks. I'm not going to spend too much time with that because it's just books. But also Maps will be making an appearance as well. And Maps, one feature you can be able to do now is be able to send certain directions to your iOS device. So you're at home looking up a bar, you find it in Maps, you'll be able to send that directly over to your iOS device and just walk over to your car and get in, and now you have your directions planned. Now, notifications also getting some updated features as well. So now you'll be able to respond to a message. So say you get a message from iMessage, and you'll be able to actually reply to that within the notification itself. Now also too, you'll be able to get notification updates from your favorite websites, even if Safari is not running. So if you want to get notification updates from ESPN, now you'll be able to get that onto your desktop. And also too, when you do step away from your Mac and you go back to the lock screen, you'll be able to see notifications right on that lock screen, just like you can do on iOS. And so of course, there are multiple other different things that are new in OS X Mavericks, just like some new things with Safari and Calendar, but I'm not going to spend too much time on all that stuff. If you go to Apple's website, you can see a lot more detail about those things, but I just want to give you a quick little update to what OS X Mavericks is going to be. Now, there's no set release date yet, but it'll probably be released in the fall at some point, and there's no price yet, but if it's like the how Snow Leopard was, or even OS X Lion was, it'll probably be around $29. Now let's talk about the hardware updates that Apple presented at WWDC. And they're going to be updating their time caps and also their Airport Extreme, which is basically their wireless router. So they both are going to have the same design, but now it's kind of a tower look. They're going to be standing upright more than the flat design that they've been having over the past years. And also they're going to be offering up to 3 times the wireless performance. So you'll be able to buy the new Airport Extreme for $199, and then the time capsule is going to be starting at $299 for the 2 terabyte version, and it's going to be $399 for the 3 terabyte version. And now on to the new MacBook Airs that Apple announced. It really just updates to the MacBook Air. There's no new design, nothing like that. But it's going to be based off the new Intel Haswell processors. It's going to be better for power efficiency and also power itself. Then also too, the battery life is going to be extended. So now the 11-inch MacBook Air can get up to 9 hours of battery life, and the 13-inch MacBook Air can get up to 12 hours of battery life. So Apple is saying this is going to be kind of like all-day usage, which is going to be pretty impressive if they can really pull this off. And so both of these new versions are available right now. You can get the 11-inch starting at $1,000, and you'll be able to get the 13-inch starting at $1,100. But now the biggest hardware announcement at WWDC this year was years in the making, and it was finally the announcement of the new Mac Pro. Now when you see this thing, it looks like a trash can, to be honest with you. But when you see this thing sitting next to the previous Mac Pro, this thing is so small. I mean, Mini-Me comes to mind when I look at this new Mac Pro, but it's supposed to be twice as powerful. So this thing's going to be featuring Intel's next generation Xeon E5 processors. Also it's going to be having 2 AMD GPUs now, and it's going to be having up to 60 gigabytes of RAM. That's going to have 1 HDMI port. It's going to feature 2 gigabit Ethernet ports and also 6 Thunderbolt 2 ports, alongside 4 USB 3 ports and support for 4K displays. The new Mac Pro also has motion sensing, so when you do rotate the Mac Pro to do some things behind with the ports and things like that, they'll actually light up the I/O panel, which is pretty nice. Now, one thing some power users are upset is that it is going to be missing any type of super drive inside of it, so you're going to need to buy the external drive if you want to be able to use disk with this thing. But for the most part, I think most people should be fine with that. But we don't have an exact price or ship date for this new Mac Pro. We just know that it's coming later this year in 2013. And so after the Mac Pro announcement, they basically spent the rest of the time talking about iOS 7. Now, I covered iOS 7 in a full breakdown in another video, because if I would have added that to this video, we'd have been sitting here for like 20-30 minutes. So anyway, I'm gonna leave an annotation right here. You'll be able to click on that video and watch it in full, and you'll be able to see a lot of details about iOS 7. I covered basically everything. So anyway, guys, leave a comment down below what you think about WWDC this year so far, all the new hardware and software updates that Apple is bringing, whether you like them or not. But before I do officially end this video, it's going to take one last look at our sponsor. Today's sponsor is lynda.com, which is an online learning company that has over 77,000 video tutorials to help teach you software, creative, and business skills. And so you can learn about web design, programming, photography, audio, video, 3D, and animation, a whole bunch of different things on this website. And memberships start at just $25 a month, and they provide you 24/7 unlimited access to top quality video tutorials from experts that have real world experience. And so if you want to try this out absolutely free for 7 days, you can go to lynda.com/soldier, either on your computer or your iPhone and your iPad via one of their apps. Again, that's lynda.com/soldier. All right, guys, again, thanks for watching this video. All the links to my social networks are down below. And again, you can go to Apple's website and watch the keynote in its entirety. And again, thanks for watching this video, guys, and I will catch you later. Peace.